Yo, how's it going? How's it hanging? How's it popping? How's it slapping? How are you doing today? How are you feeling today? Are you excited? Because I am. It's your boy, CAC. Sports Chat. Back at it again. The draft is today, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, the draft is today. First round is tonight at 7 o'clock, and we could not be more excited in this house. Well, I'm excited. My fiance's like, but who cares, bro? It's draft night, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for the fun of the game, we're going to be doing it. This is our last mock draft. CAC's last mock, 2026. Wow, this has been crazy fun. I just want to take a second to be real with y'all. It's really been so much fun. I know I have 5 subscribers. I know I average 3 viewers a video. But it really is so much fun being able to do these videos because I am very passionate and love football, love the NFL, and college ball for that matter. So just being able to make these videos, it really has been a blessing, and I really could not be happier. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But for the love of the game, we're doing 2 rounds today. A little extra spice for this mock, making sure that everyone is going to get a pick going down the pipe. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Okay. Let's enter the draft room. 2 rounds. Let's begin. Okay. Since I'm poor and I can't afford trades, there will be no trading. Even though you see out there are some predicted trades. Chiefs trading up with the Cardinals to grab a top 3 guy. You could make that argument. But we're not going to do that today because I'm poor. Okay? Okay. Raiders on the clock, and I don't think anyone's confused. I was talking to my I was talking to my family. I was talking to my dad this morning. Talking to my pops this morning. And I said, "Pops, what's going on? Okay? What do you think's going to happen?" He's like, "Are you excited for draft day?" And I was like, "Heck yeah. I'm going to go pop some popcorn. I'm going to go watch the movie before the draft. I'm sick. I would have watched it with him, but I'm dying over here, low key." He's like, he said, "Last call, do you think Fernando Mendoza is going to the Raiders?" I said, "Yes." But it's a 3-part question. Okay. Question 1A, are the Raiders going to select Fernando Mendoza? The answer is yes. They will select Fernando Mendoza. Question 1B, do I think the Raiders should draft Fernando Mendoza? No, I do not. Question 1C. Would I be surprised if the Raiders didn't take Fernando Mendoza and either traded back or selected someone else like Arvell Reese? The answer would be no. I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised. Okay. But for the sake of the game, everyone knows that a quarterback is typically the first guy off the board, especially for a team that's as hungry for a QB, a stable presence as the Raiders. Here's where the real draft begins. Pick number 2. Okay? Listen, I don't think anyone should be shocked about the second overall pick. I really do think that David Bailey's a very, very good pick here. And so is Ruben Bain, in my opinion. I definitely think that Ruben Bain would be a good pick. I definitely think that, why am I on this draft board? PFSN has better, like, statistics and stuff. So I'm going to go over there to them. And I'm going to use the PFF draft board. I should have just started with that. 2 rounds, everyone, PFF. Okay, let's enter the draft. Whoa, what's going on? All right, Fernando Mendoza. No one's shocked about that pick. I could see Ruben Bain going to... See, everyone has him going pick 7. But they have David Bailey going pick 2 to the Jets. Everyone has him going pick 2 to the Jets. Wow. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. And I do think that David Bailey would be a really good pick here. Like I've said from the beginning, Arvell Reese is probably a crazy athlete. We're talking like the Travis Hunter of the D-line, right? A guy who can play multiple sides of the of multiple positions within the team and just be dominant. But a guy who has honed his craft at being an edge rusher is David Bailey, and that's it. He's only honed his craft as an edge rusher. And that's really it. So, with that in mind, it now comes down to the Cardinals and what the Cardinals are going to do. The Cardinals are probably going to trade out of this pick. That's what I think is going to happen. I think the Cardinals are going to trade out of this pick. And you know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. Okay? The Cardinals or the Chiefs are going to call the Cardinals.
Nice to meet you. I'm Tebow.
They're going to offer 9 and 29 for pick 3. And a third. Okay? They're going to move up this draft board. Okay? Chiefs are going to trade up, and they're going to take... Who are they going to take? They're probably going to take my boy Arvell Reese. See, you could argue that they're going to take Jeremiah Love, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And with as many people that have edge needs as these guys, I really don't think an edge would have fallen to them at 9, a top edge. So the Chiefs trade up and get Arvell Reese. Titans are on the board. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it again and again and again and again and again. They need to draft Jeremiah Love, the Titans. It just needs to happen, okay? The Titans could be elite. They would be so good if they got their guy, Jeremiah Love. Pick number 5 with the Giants. This one is interesting because I really do think that it's going to be Sonny Styles at this position, at this point. Sonny Styles to the Giants is pretty much a lock for me. And you've got the Browns. I think the Browns are okay. Let's go one at a time. Sonny Styles in the linebacker room for the Giants would be crazy. Tremaine Edmonds and Sonny Styles. Veteran, new guy, teaching how to play ball. It's going to be elite level gaming right here. Now, at pick 6, a lot of people have these guys taking a tackle, and I don't think they are going to take a tackle. Let me say this again. I do not think they are going to take a tackle. Let me say this one more time. They should not take a tackle at 6. They should take a guy who is going to not be there, a guy of this skill level that is not going to be there at pick 24. Give me Carnell Tate at 6. Washington Commanders are on the board. The Commanders need a wide receiver, a center, a safety, a running back, and an edge rusher. They are going to select, wait for it, number 7 is going to be edge rusher Ruben Bain. I'm calling it right now. So we're talking 3 edge rushers in the first 10 picks. It makes sense. The Saints, realizing that all of their edge rushers are off the board, are probably going to, I mean, you can make an argument for Caleb Downs. You can make an argument for Mansour Delane. They're desperately in need of a corner, so they're going to take corner Mansour Delane at 8. At pick 9, the Cardinals are going to draft Francis Mauigoa. Listen, this is a crazy draft class that's shaping up here. All right. The Giants are at 10, and the Giants are going to draft Caleb Downs. Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. That's a crazy draft class. A draft class I wouldn't think, even imagine them having right now. But they have it. Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. Miami Dolphins need to play this really safe. I don't think they need to get crazy. They need a corner. They need a guard, a tackle, and an edge. I could see either of these guys going, but I really do think Spencer Fano is probably going to be off the board here. Give him some protection. Give him some protection. Okay, Dallas Cowboys are on the clock now. And this is a very interesting spot to be in because they could take a number of people here, but I really do think Jermod McCoy is going to be off this board. I really do think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to focus on defense. And with that, the Rams being on the clock, Mekhi Lemon falls off this board. Right? I mean, it's just shaping up this point to be exactly what it like. There is no confusion at this point. Now, for the Ravens, I think Vega going off the board to the Ravens would be a great pick. At 15, corner, tight end, linebacker, edge. CJ Allen would be a good pick for them. I think that a corner would have been a good pick, but again, you never know what you're going to get with corner. So I really don't think they're going to take a tight end. I don't think they're going to spend their top 15 pick on Kenyon Sadiq. I think it's probably going to be CJ Allen here, if I had to guess. I mean, it really does just... I think this is interesting. 18. A lot of them have him going at 26. But CJ Allen at 15 makes sense. Pick 16 with David Bailey off the board. Wide receiver Jordan Tyson is next. I think that just makes sense. I think that it gives Garrett Wilson a new guy to throw to. I think Geno Smith is going to need all the help he can get. Okay, Lions. Lions are going to get a steal here. Lions are going to be looking for a tackle for sure, and they're going to get Monroe Freeling. And what do you know and what do you have at pick 18? Dylan Thieneman is going to fly off this board and is going to go to the Vikings. Now, the Panthers on the clock, and I'll say this once and I'll say this again. The Panthers are going to draft Kenyon Sadiq. I promise you they will. I've been mocking Kenyon Sadiq to the Panthers forever. Akeem Mesidor falls into the lap of the Cowboys at 20, which leaves the Steelers in need of a home run hit here. They need a home run hit. They need a home run hit. And for me, that is definitely going to be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. It's got to be. The safety slot. At 22, guard, edge, DT, safety, corner. Avion Terrell would be a really good pick here. And so would I think it's going to be Avion Terrell. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion. Avion Terrell would be a really good pick. Only because the Chargers could use a defensive tackle. Or not a defensive tackle, a corner. They could use a guy like this. Buzz, what are you doing? I'm not even going to say anything. Go ahead, Buzz. Do what you got to do. Just don't break my bed, please. There's a bunch of laundry over there. It's just slop. Buzz is trying to find a way to get cozy without killing himself. Okay. Pick 23 on the board. Okay. I think it's going to be wide out here. With AJ, with the questions around AJ Brown being that it's going to be over for him, they're going to need wide receiver. Okay? And Browns, I mean, we don't really got to question what the Browns are going to do. Browns are taking Blake Miller. And this is where the Bears are going to be in classes in session, bro. Bears. There is no doubt in my mind that the Bears need to take Keldrick Falk at 25. Nothing else matters at this point, bro. The Bears need to take this guy at pick 25. That is it. That's it. Pick 26. Give me. Ooh. Denzel Boston would be a good pick here. Yeah. But, like, so would Cassius Howell. Give me Cassius. 49ers are going to take Caden Proctor. Easy. Texans are going to take DT Caden McDonald. And this is probably going to be the biggest shocker of the day. I think that because they have these picks, they're probably going to take... I'm just going to say it. I think they're going to take TJ Parker. At pick 30, Dolphins get wideout Denzel Boston. Pick 31, you get... Oh, man. They're going to get... Again, Casey Concepcion seems like a good pick for them. And these guys right here, the Seahawks, they don't have a whole lot of picks. So who are they going to trade back with, though? And who's going to trade into the first round to get a different guy? Do you know what I mean? Because they said they have 4 picks. Okay. I'm not going to do it because I just want to see how it goes. But I really do think that if the Bears were to trade up here, 2 second-rounders for this pick, and draft a guy like Peter Woods, that would be gross. That would be gross. I'd be so happy with that draft. But we're not going to. For the sake of the game, let's see, who has... I mean, they have 2 second-rounders, but what do they need? Edge? Linebacker? See, there's no one there that would be, like, crazy to trade up for. Edge, linebacker, tackle. Cardinals have 1 pick. Titans have 1. Raiders have 1. Giants have 1. Texans have 2 second-rounders. What do the Texans need? Guard. Honestly, you can make this argument here. Hang on. Let's just say this might happen. Texans are going to trade with Seattle. Where's Seattle? Why am I missing them? Seattle. There you go. Texans trade back up and get Emmanuel Pregnon. Jets are on the clock, right? Okay, so entering round 2, we have to look at what they have already. Bailey and Tyson. So we should be thinking about bolstering the edge rush would be good. We need to think about the defense. We need to think about, I think Colton Hood would be a great pick here. Oh, why would you draft Colton Hood? Because they lost Sauce Gardner. Their secondary is in shambles. Okay? I mean, let's look at the projections for this guy. Jets are they have a 4% chance of going to the Jets. But you can make that argument. The Jets taking him? Who did the... Oh, I forgot the Chiefs traded up to grab Arvell Reese. Right. Okay. Cardinals are on the clock at 34, and everyone knows where they're going with this pick. It's Ty Simpson. Okay, Jeremiah Love was a pick for them. They could use an edge. They could use a linebacker. They could use a wide receiver, a guard, and a running back. I think Zion Young would be a good pick. Now, their low needs are tackle, so they're not going to draft a tackle. They're not going to draft a DT. They're probably going to take an edge. Zion Young comes off this board. At 30C. Okay, me and Austin have the right idea here. And so does me and Kyle. Okay, we're locked in. Okay, pick 36. Guard, tackle. Max. I think they grab a tackle. They grab Max to pair up with Fernando Mendoza. Giants are on the board with Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. I think they're going to definitely address wide receiver at this point. Saints, Miami. They've got to. The Giants have got to address wide receiver. Let's see. I think they take wide receiver here. And I know that's probably crazy to say, but what's this guy? 6'4", 198 pounds. Okay. What were his testings? He did not participate in anything, bro. What? 4.48. All right. Jeremy Bernard is off the board to the Giants at 37. That's a great little draft class right there. Okay, so the Seahawks traded back, and now they're in the market for an edge rusher, a running back. I definitely think at this point in time they're going to go running back, and they're going to take Jadarian Price. It's just simple at this point. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. Now, here we go. Browns at 39. Listen, Browns need a tackle. They already got a tackle and a wide receiver. They could go guard. They could go center. I think that really pretty much any position out here is necessary. Give me give me guard Chase Basantis. Honestly. They got a tackle, a guard, and a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds. Chiefs on the board, they got Arvell Reese. Tight end and wide receiver are big questions. I think with Chris Jones being older, they're probably going to want to take a tackle, and they're probably going to draft Peter Woods, a defensive tackle. Peter Woods is off the board at 40. Bengals just got, I don't know, high DTs there. They just got Dexter Lawrence. Safety is a huge concern. Corner is a big concern, and Brandon Sissy's there. For sure. Okay. Steelers with Mansour Delane. Guard, tight end, wide receiver. Eli Stowers is there, but that's a big reach. You know what I mean? That's a big reach. Give me Chris Bell off the board. Okay. Dolphins got Boston and Spencer Fano. Corner, D'Angelo Pons would be a beautiful little pick there. Jets at 44. They are rebuilding this offense tremendously. They got David Bailey. They got Jordan Tyson. They got Colton Hood. Okay. I mean, you could make the argument here for Jacob Rodriguez. You could make the argument for Jacob Rodriguez. You could. I don't know. Let's see. Honestly, what do they want to do here? That's the question. Linebacker. They get a linebacker yet? No. Jacob Rodriguez is a great pick. Okay. They need a DT so bad. And I do think it's probably going to end up being... I mean, here's the question, though. But with his foot injury, no one knows what's going to happen. And I don't know what they're going to do, but my guess is they're probably going to take a guy who tested crazy, has good traits, and give me Christian Miller off the board at 45. Okay. Whew. Bucks are back on the board. And they got linebacker CJ Allen, so they're not desperate for a linebacker, but they are desperate for a tackle. Again, I don't think they could make an argument for Caleb Banks. I think Lee Hunter will probably be off the board here. Okay. Colts are on the board. They need an edge rusher. R. Mason Thomas is there. They do need an edge rusher. Bad. So bad. Falcons, wide receiver, tackle, center. Okay, Caleb Lomu's there. They're going to just grab it and pretend that nothing happened. They're going to be like, ooh, ooh. Will Caleb Lomu be there at 48? Probably not, but you know what? He might. Vikings. This would be an interesting pick. Vikings at 49. Wow. Do the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings do it. I don't think they do it. Corner would be a good pick here. I think... Let's see. They'll probably end up drafting Chris Johnson. Lions are on the clock with Monroe Freeling, and people are probably going to be like, edge rusher would be good. Safety's a good pick here. At 50, give me Gabe Jacobs. Okay, Panthers on the clock with Kenyon Sadiq. I think the Panthers got their tight end. They definitely need a tackle. There's no tackles left on this board that are like anywhere near arguable. AJ Halsey is their safety. Packers need an edge rusher. They also need a corner. I would argue that they're probably going to take Keontae Scott here.
I'm hungry.
Shush. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Give me Keontae Scott off the board to the Packers. Linebacker, guard. Who did they take in Emmanuel McNeil-Warren? Give me Dunker off the board at 54. Okay. They got Omar Cooper Jr. They need an edge rusher. Give me Malachi Lawrence off this board to the Eagles. That would be gross. Chargers need a DT, a safety, a guard, a corner. Could make the argument for Keith Abney II. Okay. Jags at 56. First pick. I mean, I really don't want. I don't know. The Jags. What do they need? Bad. Their defense wasn't even that bad last year. Linebacker Jake Golday. Bears are on the clock. I think the Bears will probably end up taking Caleb Banks at 57. I mean, look. 78, 29, 38, 29, 25, 45, 25, 25, 49, 31. I mean, Bears get him at 57. San Francisco 49ers, I mean, they got, who'd they get already? They got Caden Proctor, wide receiver. Boom. Seahawks got Jadarian Price. Edge Joshua Josephs is there. Bears are back on the clock, and oh man, I say go trade on Stukes. I would probably take trade on Stukes, especially if he's still there. I would take him, and you could move someone around to safety. You know what I mean? Rams, it's a wrap. Tackle done, because they got Mekhi Lemon, get a tackle in there. Broncos DT, they ain't getting one. I promise you that. Tight end though, easy. Pick 63. Edge, linebacker Josiah Trotter. Last pick of the day. Brisket on the board. Guard, right? I think they go guard. Wow. Okay. A- draft pick for. Where are the Bears at, though? Like, that's the Cleveland Browns. A, B minus, B plus, B plus, A. B, B plus. Yo, am I missing something here? Bears got Kendrick Falk. Okay. I think that's a pretty good draft. I'm not going to lie. I think that's a pretty good draft. I've done 6 drafts. My favorite college is apparently Ohio State. Biggest steal, Caleb Banks. Biggest reach, Jadarian Price. Okay. All right. Listen. I really do feel like this is going to be a pretty good draft. Listen, I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited. I'm hoping that this runs down the way that it should. I think that it's going to be a fun draft. I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to do a recap tomorrow on round 1 and what really happened. And, man, it's going to be exciting. But until then, you know what to do. Yeah. CAC out.